Hello everyone, welcome to week 5 of my life. Oh my god, it's finals week, so, I'm doing great. No, I'm doing well. This video is going to be more about some of the vulnerabilities I've kind of been experiencing lately, because last week I do feel like I glazed over one important aspect of what's been going on with me, and that has really been the mood adjustment. I've been happy in my decision and everything, but honestly, I've been experiencing lower lows than I've ever, experienced, at least for considering this is a time in my life where really nothing bad has happened. And I've been experiencing a lot of happiness too, but it's been kind of an emotional roller coaster, and I think that a lot of people who've transitioned would sympathize and agree with me, because being full of hormones is just great, isn't it? I just want people to know that, if you go through a transition and you're experiencing, a tendency towards depression, oh my god, I understand, because I feel like that's kind of something that I could tend toward around this time in my life if it wasn't going, well for me, and I'm grateful for that, but here's to hoping that I keep doing well, I guess. Anyway, I haven't really been able to vent about my feelings, and no one likes a rant, and that's not what this is, but I want to kind of use this to get out some of the problems I've been having for, honestly, a really long time, but they've been harping on me more than ever lately, so I might as well get started. I would never doubt who I am for 1 second, but it's sometimes still kind of hard to be transgender, so why don't we get started? One of the biggest things that is hard for me about my transition and being trans in general is people asking questions nonstop. I'm not offended by questions. I'm always willing to answer people's questions when they have them for me, because I think it's natural for people to be curious, but sometimes questions are really personal and exhausting to answer constantly. I can't tell you how many times I've had to be asked, when are you going to change your name? When are you going to get boobs? When are you going to stop looking like a boy? When are you going to cut off your penis? It's so overwhelming to have to do all that, because I'm still experiencing this, and I don't have all the answers. I just know what I want, and I want to be a woman. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's a lot. So, for those of you who've watched this, oh no, I've asked questions, that's not what it's about. It's just, sometimes it's a little too much. Second thing I cannot deal with. I cannot deal with public bathrooms. Plenty of trans people I know just can't do this. It literally causes me to choose my gender every day, which is just so weird, because literally, I am in the middle of a transition. I am a woman, but not a lot of people see me that way, I hate to admit. So sometimes I'll go into the men's bathroom, but people, on 2 occasions, I have been in the men's bathroom, and a man walks in, and he checked the door to make sure what bathroom he was going into, and the same thing happened when I was in the women's bathroom, and I don't feel comfortable in either one, just because I'm in such a middle androgynous phase right now. And, what can you do but hope that there's places full of unisex bathrooms for now, because that'll improve my mood just to see a unisex sign, because there's so much less pressure. It's a lot. Number 3, definitely having to worry about what I wear. I love fashion and I love to express myself, but one of the biggest issues for me is whenever I wear a skirt or a dress, it's a statement to people. And I always get questions. It's just oh my god, is that what you're going to wear every day from now on? It's oh, why can't I just wear what I want? It's not a big deal. I've worn dresses and skirts a billion times, but I haven't done it in a while, because it feels to me like every time I do it, I'm making this big proclamation that from here on out, this is how it's going to be. It's just let me just exist. And not to mention, that if one more person tells me that I don't need to wear makeup, I'm gonna scream. Because I'm not wearing makeup to impress other people. I'm wearing makeup because literally I want to. And that's it. Like, everyone always tells me, or not everyone, that's not fair, but people sometimes tell me, it's like, you know, you would look more like a woman if you wore less makeup. It's like, thanks, like, it's hard. Number 4 is body image. Everyone has body image issues. I will not, like, dispute that by any means, because this is a society full of that. And honestly, it's even weird to me, or it's, to some people always ask, it's like, why are you so concerned about your body and everything? Because literally, all people ever tell me is just like, if you want to be a woman, why do you want to be thin? You don't have curves. If you wanted to be a woman, you would gain weight. But if I were to gain weight, people don't understand this. I would not get a butt, and I would not get curves. I would literally get a gut sticking straight out of my midsection. So excuse me if I look like a stick. I don't want to look like... Ugh. It's hard. It's just frustrating, really. I wouldn't say hard, because I've been dealing with it, and there are people dealing with worse things than me, but Jesus, sometimes. Number 5 is staring. Like, you can't get around it. If you choose to present yourself in an like, exclamatory way, I suppose, which is the way I tend to present myself. I'm very loud sometimes, like, whatever. You get a lot of stares, and people don't know when they're staring, but it happens. And I used to tell my friends, like, oh my god, I think it's so funny whenever I see a waitress, and they're just like, thanks, ma'am? Like, oh my god, it's not funny at all, it's actually horribly, like, awful, and it gives me horrible anxiety, but I'm like, oh yeah, it's so funny, like, I'm confusing everyone doesn't have any idea what I am. Oh my god. Whatever, you know, like, it happens, but it's awful. Not really, but it's too bad, really. My goal is to live in the world and not have people stare at me, because, you know, I love attention, but I don't know. Number 6 is love. You know, one of my biggest things with this, and one of the biggest questions people always ask me, it's like, aren't you worried that you're never going to find anyone that'll love you? It's like, yeah, you know what, I am worried about that. Thanks for reminding me. I know that there are people out there that will love me for me, but that doesn't make it any less, like, invalidating. Whenever people ask me, it's just like, don't you think that it'll be hard to find someone? It's like, of course I think that. That's all I ever think about anymore. Not really. Like, I mean, I am in a place right now where I know that I don't want to be dating people, because I really do want to focus on myself, but that doesn't mean I don't get lonely sometimes, because everyone does, and it's just, I don't know. Sometimes it gets you. Another question, number 7, I suppose, another question that bothers me is when people always ask me, aren't you worried about your voice? Of course, actually. I have a rather deep voice, and as much as I try to mask it, it's not going anywhere. Like, I'm going to do my best to sound like a woman, but yes, I'm worried about my voice. I'm terrified. Sometimes people will legitimately be like, ma'am, until they hear my voice, and they'll just be like, you, like, oh. Last thing that really, like, harps on me is when people ask me, are you sure you're trans? Because I understand that question. Like, it makes sense why you would ask that, but literally, like, I guess people don't understand the mental process where you come to terms with this sort of thing, and it almost just, it frustrates me when people ask me, like, are you sure? It's like, this is not some phase I'm going through in my life. This is me finally coming to terms and accepting and deciding to do something about me becoming who I feel like I really am. And when people are like, are you sure you're not going to regret it? Like, I wouldn't be injecting myself with needles, getting blood tests, and literally going through puberty twice if I hadn't actually thought this through. Well, that's, I mean, anyone can rant about their problems in, like, however long this video is going to be, but I don't know. But these are what I've been going through, and it's been a little rough patch for me lately. I know it'll get better for any of you that are also experiencing this. Let's improve our lives together. But that's just me, I guess, kind of getting out some of my frustration about what I've been going through. Feel free to let me know if what I said, you know, was offensive, because what you're going through is worse, and I understand. Just know that let people suffer, because it's honestly the most therapeutic thing in the world is to complain. At least, you know. Feel free to disagree with me, but that's that. I hope you all have wonderful holidays. I'll keep posting. Sorry this video is going up a little late. My life has been a whirlwind, so until then, I'll see you next week, and thank you for watching. Sorry for the rant. Bye-bye.